was given a picture as a writing prompt. It was a picture of a man in like a cowboy outfit. He had like the jeans and the cowboy boots, and he's down on one knee, like proposing to this girl in the middle of a dance floor. And that was the prompt, just to look at that picture and see where that would take me. So I wrote this kind of whimsical little thing called "You Don't Bring Me Flowers Anymore." It was an early summer day, cool and pleasant. Seasonal breezes caused the grasses to sway gently. Birds peeped in happy industry. The sun was a gentle friend rather than an angry, fire-breathing dragon burning the land with its breath. The sound of the breeze was more like a sigh of contentment, a kiss as it touched Samantha on its way by her. She saw some Texas cactus growing in the yard as they went by, almost ready to bloom. Sunflowers about 6 inches tall reached through the heavens, and she noted roses were in bloom. She could hear hammering in the distance and saw men working on the roof of the house a little later as they drove by it. Samantha was in a daydream as she watched the spots of sunlight appear and disappear on the house. It was like sun flickering through trees, in and out of clouds. What a beautiful day. Looking at the growing flowers, Samantha remembered the night that Jeremiah proposed to her. They had gone to a square dance, and right in the middle of the dance floor, he had suddenly gone down on one knee in front of her. His cowboy boots, spurs and all, were sticking out where any unwary dancer could be tripped. However, no one seemed to care, or maybe they had all been in on his surprise. He had pulled a big bouquet of roses from behind his back and presented them to her as he solemnly asked her if she would marry him. Everyone at the dance was silent until she smiled and nodded her head yes. Then there was quite a ruckus as everyone rushed to congratulate them both. That was 5 years ago. Earlier this morning, feeling ignored, she had told him, "You never bring me flowers anymore." Jeremiah had not responded to this and had been very quiet on their drive to town. He pretended to be involved with the horses and buckboard, but Samantha knew better. He was sulking, or maybe he was not even thinking of her at all. At any rate, he continued to ignore her. Now they were riding beside a field of corn. Samantha could see white and purple morning glories twisted around the corn stalks along the road. She also saw some pretty blue cornflowers. "Look," she said, pointing them out to Jeremiah. Jeremiah smiled at her and said, "Do you know that if you kiss the face of the morning glories in the morning, you will have good luck all day?" Happy to see her playful husband again, Samantha said, "Go kiss one then, it's still morning." "Will you kiss one too, so you'll have good luck?" he asked. "Sure, stop the wagon and we'll both kiss the morning glories and we'll both have good luck today." Jeremiah laughed and told her, "You're as silly as I am." "How are you going to do it, pick the flowers and then kiss them?" "No," Jeremiah said, "I don't want to hurt the flowers, just kiss them." He pulled the wagon to the side of the road and stopped. Soon both of them were laughing and running around the field kissing the flowers, sometimes independently and sometimes both kissed the same one. Mostly they kissed the ones that had vined high, pulling the flowers through the fence when they were behind it to reach them. Samantha wondered if the flowers liked all this attention. Jeremiah found a beautiful full flower growing close to the ground and tried to get down to it without getting his clothes soiled. Samantha gave him a little push and down he went, face to face with the flower, which he soundly kissed. Getting up, he brushed the dirt off his knees and elbows happily. "I want to explain something to you," he said. "I used to pick the flowers for you, and thus I killed them. Now we go together to see and appreciate the flowers, but I don't pick them because that destroys their beauty. Do you see why I don't bring you flowers anymore?" Samantha laughed and said, "I guess a lame excuse is better than none," and she linked her arm through his and made off toward the wagon. We were given assignments to do little dialogue. We were supposed to be working on dialogue, so we were told to do like dialogue angry, dialogue joyful, dialogue stressful, that sort of thing. And so I did a few little things like that. Dialogue romantic. So, and some of these are just very short little things. Dialogue angry. I just don't understand him, Jerry said angrily. He came from a good home. He's had love and family support all his life, and here he is running with the underbelly of society. He's an addict, that's why, Mary said. Being an addict doesn't give you a license to betray your family, to steal from those who loved you, and been in your corner through thick and thin, Jerry said, slapping his hand down on the kitchen table with a thump. I just want to throttle him. Maybe we shouldn't have been so understanding, Mary said, wringing her hands together. You're right. We should have thrown him out at the beginning, Jerry remarked bitterly. He lifted his cup of cold coffee, took a sip, and made a face at both his son and the nasty coffee. If we'd thrown him out, if he hadn't had a decent place to return to, he'd be dead by now, Mary thought aloud. We can't abandon him. He's our son. He needs to go back into treatment, Jerry said. That's what I'm going to tell him when he shows up. I want him back into rehab too, but I'm afraid that it won't work as well now that he's used to it. I'm afraid he'll even use connections that he's made in rehab to drop out of society and into the drug world again as soon as it's over. That life will kill him, Mary said, grimacing as she thought of the hopelessness of the situation. Now that he's stolen from us, he's already dead as far as I'm concerned, Jerry stated flatly. And then I did one joyful. It's here, Ruth chortled into the phone. My first book is in print now. I'm holding it in my hand. How does it look? Did the publisher do a good job? Betty wanted to know. It's great. The cover's just the way I want it to be. The formatting is wonderful. I love it. Is it available to the general public now? Betty asked. I think so. They told me to start doing some things to market it. What do you have to do? I need to set up some readings and book signings. I think I'm supposed to talk with a marketing person at the publishing house tomorrow, Ruth said. This is so fantastic. I just can't believe it. I've dreamed of being a writer all my life, and now I'm finally published. When do you think I can buy a copy? Betty wanted to know. I'm not sure when it will be out officially, but I have a copy here for you now, Ruth told her. How much is it? This one is free to you for all your help. I could never have finished the book if you hadn't been so encouraging, Ruth said. And something else you should know. The book is dedicated to you. Really? I can't believe you did that. I can't wait to see it. Come on over, Ruth said. There's no need to wait. And then I had one dialogue stressful. When are you going to take out that trash? Clara prodded her son Joseph. I'll do it. It's not going anywhere, Joseph grumbled. Exactly my point, Clara said. It needs to go somewhere. All right, Joseph said, putting down his book. I'm doing it. Does that make you happy? Not as happy as if I hadn't had to tell you 20 times. Joseph put down the book he was reading, gathered up the overflowing bag, and headed out the door. At the trash can, he struggled with the heavy lid for a few minutes before deciding that he should put the bag down, open the lid, and then throw the bag inside. As he returned to his chair and to his book, he saw his mother standing in the doorway again. Her arms were folded across her chest in a defiant way, and he wondered, what's wrong now? What? He said. You let the beans burn again. I told you to watch the beans. All you ever do is read books. Nothing will get done that way. I hate beans anyway, Joseph muttered, looking back at his book, sliding into a world where all the problems belong to someone else. And then I did one that was supposed to be dialogue romantic, and it was just a silly little thing. How much do you love me? Chelsea asked as she cuddled against her Romeo, whose real name was Scott. I love you more than all the fishes in the sky, Scott proclaimed. There aren't any fishes in the sky, Chelsea protested. Then I love you as much as all the birds in the ocean. There aren't any birds in the ocean, so I guess that means you don't love me, Chelsea said, not sure how to take Scott's evasive and silly answer. I love you as many eggs as a rooster can lay in a year, Scott continued. Roosters don't lay eggs. Are you sure? I love you as much snow as they have at the equator. There isn't any snow at the equator, Chelsea said, miffed. Apparently, this is your way of telling me that you don't love me at all. You should have told me that sooner before I devoted 6 months of my life to you. She stood up to leave. It's my way of saying you ask the question over and over, and I'm tired of the same old responses. I love you, but I shouldn't have to tell you 20 times a day.